In the hills of beautiful Augusta, New Jersey, surrounded by green, Skyland Stadium is the location for some Florence Y'alls baseball right here on the Frontier League Network, powered by HTN. It's the Y'alls riding off an 8-game win streak, their longest of the season. They'll look to make it 9 and start a 6-game road stretch, all out east as they finish their play against the Atlantic Conference. It's the Florence Y'alls taking on the Sussex County Miners. Sussex County sitting at third place of the Atlantic East Division and just a game below 500 as Florence on this absolute tear has moved just half a game back of the Evansville Otters in the Midwest Central Division as they look to keep pushing not only for that last playoff spot, last wild card spot, but chance at the first wild card spot as well. Toby Hall leads his team out to Augusta, New Jersey for 3. It's 3 against the Brockton Rocks immediately after the series coming up this weekend. So very exciting opportunity for Florence to finish up their play against the Atlantic. Back-to-back sweeps for Florence. It was a 7-game week. They did not drop a single game. And a 6-day stretch, a ton of rain against Gateway. They had a chance to bury a couple of opponents in that wild card race from the Midwest West Division, the Joliet Slammers and the Gateway Grizzlies, and they did so to both of them. A 3-game sweep of Joliet and a 4-game sweep of Gateway. Florence has dominated the Atlantic so far. It's been very kind to them. This is the first time going out east for the Y'alls. 5-1 record in their 2 series against Atlantic teams so far this year. They swept the New Jersey Jackals, who are on an absolute heater there in their own right in the Atlantic. They also got a 2 out of 3 series victory against the Down East Bird Dogs. Sussex County a little bit further out of a playoff spot, just 3.5 games back right now. They are chasing the New York Boulders, not only second place in that East Division, it's the Boulders who also hold the final wild card spot out of the Atlantic. They'll have a tough task, though, taking on Hank Zeisler, who had one of the best weeks of baseball that I think I have seen in my years of broadcasting. In his week of baseball and the 7 games last week, the numbers for him, 15 for 24. With 8 homers, he had 19 RBIs in those 7 games. I think it goes without saying he was named the Frontier League Player of the Week. That's the first Florence Y'all this season to get that honor. This is a series where you're going to see a little bit of offense. These are 2 teams who top 6 in the Frontier League this season in OPS. They're also outside of the top 10, both of them in team ERA. The good news for Florence is they have 3 of their, more steady guys and guys who have been consistent as of late going this week against Sussex County. Yannicker Villalobos, the southpaw, gets the ball for Florence today. He will face Sussex County lineup that looks like this. Edwin Mateo, Evan Berkey, Gabriel Maciel batting third. Akita Taylor, that's a familiar name for Florence fans. He bats cleanup. He played a few games with Florence earlier this year. Makai Backstrom, Dean Ferrara. And then Kiko Romero, Sandro Gaston, and Hayden Walters round out the Sussex County lineup. Another name you might not be expecting here for Florence on the other side, Jackson Tucker. That's right. He's back with Florence just for a little bit of time. We talked about his new opportunity that he's gotten. It's in the area, so once he moved away, you realized that this is a great opportunity for him to play a few more. Florence comes to New Jersey. So Tucker's back with the team for a few games. I believe it's only this series that'll be with him, but with Tyler Schoenfeld not making the trip, this will be a perfect opportunity to have another leadoff hitter. He's been someone who's led off the second most amount of games for Florence this year, right behind Tyler Schoenfeld. After that, it's your typical Florence lineup. Brett Blomquist batting second at second. Zeisler, the player of the week, batting third at first base. Zade Richardson, the DH, is hitting cleanup. Brendan Bobo back in right field batting fifth. Garrett Broussard playing third, batting sixth. Milo Rushford gets moved down to the lineup after the ejection in Sunday's second game with a doubleheader. He's playing left field. Dylan Baker at short and Zach Beadle right there will catch Yannicker Villalobos. We're talking about the rotation that Florence will throw out all weekend. After Villalobos, we go Evan Webster and then Nathan Lawson, both of those 2 guys, and really all 3 of those guys. Big part of that 7-0 week last week. They all had great starts. For Villalobos specifically, it was 6 2/3, where again he gave up a lot of hits, 10 hits, but still just the 4 earned runs in 6 2/3. Able to give Florence a little bit of length in that game. That was back against Joliet on Wednesday. Did give up a couple of homers. That's something that he has controlled really well all season long. Funny enough, 5 homers, even before that series against Joliet. He'd given up just 3 on the year. 2 of those 3 have come against Atlantic teams. He gave up a home run in a start against Down East, gave up a home run at home against New Jersey. Villalobos has yet to give up a home run on the road this season. So all 5 have been at Thomas More Stadium. This is obviously his first start of the year at Skyland Stadium. So we will see how he fares. Sussex County will counter with 3 righties, including Tristan Harley's going today. He's got 3 decisions at 26 2/3 so far on the season. A 3.04 ERA. The walk to strikeout numbers are outstanding for him. He struck out 28 and just walked 9 in his 26 2/3 so far this season. So he's been one of Sussex County's better pitchers. Just a 233 batting average against, but this Florence team has faced a lot of really good opposing pitchers and really done some damage against them. A little bit of a quieter afternoon last time out for Florence. The second game of the doubleheader was against Gateway, and they only scored 3 runs. They were getting no hit into the 6th inning of a 7-inning game because of the doubleheader. In that 6th inning, Hank Zeisler came to the plate, and he saw just his 3rd pitch all game long. The first 2 came in his first AB, went 2-0 in that first AB, was intentionally walked there, intentionally walked in his 2nd plate appearance. Finally, they pitched to him in that 3rd plate appearance, and the first pitch he saw, line drive bomb out into right field. The only hit, the only home run of the day for Florence, as we are about to get our national anthem. But Florence picked up that win 3-1 against Gateway to finish their 4-game sweep and get their 10th win of 12 against Gateway this season. National anthem and the first pitch coming up right here on the Florence Y'all's Radio Network and the Frontier League Network, powered by HTN. How about that saxophone edition of our national anthem? Again, back at Skyland Stadium, we are ready for first pitch and ready to conclude our 50 West pregame show. 50 West is the premier brewery in the Cincinnati area. At 50 West, every beer is a journey. Join us for the ride. Located at 7605 Worcester Pike in Cincinnati. This is how Sussex County will line up behind Tristan Harley. Makai Backstrom, Edwin Mateo, Gabriel Maciel right to left in the outfield. Dean Ferrara takes over third with Evan Berkey over at short next to him. Hayden Walters and Kirk Romero at second and first respectively. Sandro Gaston will receive one of three rookie righties that Florence will see in this series against Sussex County. Talked about Florence's lineup. Jackson Tucker will be the first to face Harley. A little bit closer to home for him and a little bit closer to where his new home is going to be. We talked about his new opportunity. A few more games with Florence coming up for him. He will lead off against Harley. There are the numbers for the right-hander in just 4 starts on his professional career. He's got a couple of relief appearances as well. But ERA sits just above 3. Beautiful whip at 1.2. 26 and 2/3 in those 6 appearances. Numbers I was talking about. 28 strikeouts for him to just 9 walks. He is someone who has really figured out his command and impressed early as a rookie. Last start came against Ottawa. That was back on the road last Wednesday. He went 5 1/3. Scoreless baseball. Just 3 hits and a walk. He struck out 6. Let's see what this Florence offense can do against another really talented pitcher. One that comes to mind, Gage Vales, pitched against Florence twice now in the last couple of weeks. He's an all-star for the Midwest Conference, and he got hit around. Someone with a sub-3 ERA twice by this Florence offense. Sitting 3rd in the league in OPS, 2nd in runs scored. First pitch comes at the knees, cold strike to Jackson Tucker. Didn't play in the last few games of the series. It was after the Wednesday night game when we got the news, after the Friday night game, I should say, that we got the news that his time was coming to a close here with Florence. He'll ground one on a couple of hops right over to second. Walters picks it up and throws to first for out number 1. So hopefully a few games for Tucker here in New Jersey. 2 pitches, 1 out for the righty Harlan. First pitch comes in, I believe, right about on time. We had it planned for 7:05, 7:06 right now. And Brett Blomquist will hit. One of many Florence Yalls who struggled in that Game 4 against Gateway at the plate. Foul tips the first pitch back. 0 for 3 with the strikeout. Everyone had an 0 for day except for Hank Zeisler, who had the 1 solo shot. But overall, Blomquist has been hot. Had a great 4-game series against Gateway. Couple of home runs in the Friday game. Off speed, just low to the Florence second baseman. Still waiting to hear the news on Schoenfeld. We saw that collision at the plate in Game 2 of the doubleheader on Sunday. He is not in the lineup for Florence today. Fastball up and away. I don't know if there's some sort of helicopter going over above us, but I mean, we're no stranger. That is a helicopter right near us. We're here in the hills in Augusta. I was going to say, we get planes flying all over us at Thomas More Stadium back at Florence, and they're not nearly as loud as this helicopter just was. That was pretty low above us. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Blomquist with 1 out, nobody on base, top of the first from Sussex County. Kicks and fires the 2-2 up and in. On a horizontal break on that off speed from Harley. Five and a third against Ottawa. He needed 91 pitches. Got pulled in the middle of that 6th, obviously. High chopper over to short. This time Berkey gloves it on a couple of hops. Has to throw over to first late, but just got it in time. It's picked at first by Romero. Couple of grounders to start off this top of the first, and a really good start here for Harley. Now here is Hank Zeisler, the reigning Frontier League Player of the Week, the new Frontier League leader in RBIs. He was the first to 80 with 81 of them. He also now leads this Florence teams in home runs with a sizable margin. He's got 18 of them on the year. Come up with 2 outs and nobody on. Fastball just at the letters for strike 1 to him. So 15 for 24 last week for Zeisler, with 8 home runs, 19 RBIs. A couple of really cool feats in there as well. Harlan fires the 0-1. Zeisler fouls it away. So we hit a walk-off home run on Thursday to clinch a sweep over Joliet. He became the franchise's all-time home run leader later in the Gateway Series. He became the franchise all-time leader in walks with a couple of intentional walks that we were talking about Game 2 on Sunday. 0-2 throwaway pitch up and away to the captain. I don't know what more you could have asked for from a really good week. Florence manager Toby Hall had what I thought was a really funny quote after the game. He said, yeah, this is exactly how we used to pitch Barry Bonds. That's what Gateway was doing to Zeisler. He is on a 3-game home run streak. He's homered in 4 of his last 5. Down to this count 1 and 2. Now even it up on a fastball up and away from Harley. Florence back in those baby blue jerseys with the gray pants. Zeisler punches another one foul to stay alive in this count. Not a huge turnout at Skyline Stadium today for a Tuesday. I didn't see any special promotions. I very much could be wrong. That's just my first observation and what I've seen so far today. 2-2's low, so Zeisler's fought back from down 0-2 all the way to run the count full. But it is a cool stadium. It's got, not the 2 levels that Windy City has where it's like a balcony, but it's got a lower level and then a small concourse before another upper level as Zeisler skies one out to left. Mariel, Mateo both going over. It's Mariel in front of the left field warning track to glove it and complete the 1-2-3 inning for Harley. So a long at-bat for Zeisler, but nothing to show for. We'll see Yannick Villalobos for the first time on the Frontier League Network, powered by HTN. One of Florence's vets, Yannick Villalobos, will get yet another start for this Florence team. He has been dynamite this season since the All-Star break. 3 starts for him since the All-Star break, and they have all been pretty good. A 3-3 record with a 5.58 ERA after a couple of tough starts before the All-Star break. Here's how Florence's defense will line up. Rushford, Tucker, Bobo left to right of the outfield. Broussard and Baker over at short and third. Brett Blomquist plays second. Hank Zeisler, the captain, at first base. And Zach Beadle will get the catching duties for Florence today after a split 4-game series, which should have been 2 games caught for Beadle, 2 games caught for Harbison. Beadle actually ended up having to come in and catch the 4th game of that series as Harbison was needed over at first base. That was a very dramatic and chaotic 7-inning game to conclude against Gateway. So here is Edwin Mateo, the leadoff switch-hitting center fielder for Sussex County. Sees a ball, fouls one back to start the count off at a ball and a strike. Mateo, Berkey, Mariel, Taylor, Backstrom, Ferrara, Romero, Gaston, and Walters. As Yannick Villalobos fires a fastball and a grounder over to third, Garrett Broussard picks it up and throws to first in time for out number 1. 1 down retired here for Villalobos. This is similar to Florence, a pretty much all turf field at Skyline Stadium with the exception of the warning track all the way around on the outfield and even in foul territory as you get behind home plate and down the lines. The warning track is dirt. I do like that. I can imagine players like that too, easier for them to realize they're on the track. First pitch comes into Evan Berkey, who takes a breaking ball low. 317 hitter Berkey. He's one of the Pioneer League's best hitters a season ago. Played for Yuba Suter. Strike at the knees on another off speed from Villalobos. 1136 OPS for Yuba Suter last year. That's top 10 in the Pioneer League in OPS, which is just crazy to me that it's not first. This one's punched the opposite way and just fell down the right field line. One just spun a little too much for Berkey. We talked, though, with C.J. Blowers a little bit, who played for the Oakland Ballers, about just how much those offensive numbers are inflated out in the Pioneer League. But still, 1136 OPS is pretty ridiculous. He was a postseason all-star in the Pioneer League. He's playing shortstop for Sussex County here. Has to get back into the box after fouling one off. Now down on the count, 1-2. Villalobos out of the windup. Fastball upstairs. You know, we'll see what kind of shot we get from the home plate cam. You know, I am just astonished at how beautiful this ballpark is. In center field. This is another hard grounder over to short. Baker going to his right. Has to one-hop it over to first. Couple of hops. It's Zeisler can't control it. So Berkey beats out what will probably be ruled an error again here on the road, not the official scores. I think this error will probably go on Baker because that was on a couple of hops. Zeisler actually had that one controlled in his glove for a little bit of time, but eventually could not hang on to it when all was said and done. So 1 on, 1 out for Sussex County in the home half of the first. Villalobos' first time working out of the stretch. It's Gabriel Mariel. First pitch off speed low to Maciel. One of the very few players, this is one of the cooler things when I look for, you know, doing some prep on some of these players. Maciel, a two-time player in the World Baseball Classic. He played for his home country, Brazil. Got 10 at-bats for Brazil in this 2026 World Baseball Classic. Generous strike call on that inside corner to him. Ball and a strike. Just 2 for 10, but still very impressive. And he actually had himself an RBI, too, in group play. Brazil did not make it out of group play in this year's World Baseball Classic. Villalobos comes back fastball, throws the 1-1 of the dirt. On deck is Keita Taylor, who Florence fans saw for pretty much just a couple of weeks early in this season. He's found a home here in Sussex County. Unless there's a double play, he'll hit here in this first inning. Check swing on another fastball, and he did say he'd go around. First base umpire with a helpful call for Florence, and the count's even at 2-2. Way inside of the count's full. The crowd's starting to fill in a little bit. Skyland Stadium, still nothing crazy. Sun beating down out in right field. Makes for some interesting shadows that we're going to see today. Berkey dancing around over at first. Payoff pitch incoming after we get a throw over to first from Villalobos. Florence went down in order in the first and top half. Payoff pitch incoming. It misses inside for ball 4. That Villalobos curveball couldn't locate it. And Sussex County's got a couple on in the bottom of the first with Keenan Taylor coming to the plate. 30 at-bats for Florence at the beginning of the season. He hit just 133 in those 30 ABs. Did have a homer that came all the way back in the first series of the season against Evansville. Ended with 5 RBIs of those 30 ABs. First at second with 1 out against his former teammate, Yannick Villalobos. Off speed misses in. So 3 straight balls thrown by Villalobos. Also spent some time in Evansville before coming over to Florence. This is really his second season in the Frontier League. Had a really impressive rookie season for the Otters. Fastball way up and out. Villalobos starting to lose command of the zone a little bit. So 2-0 on Taylor. Is really settling in here with Sussex County. That batting average just below 300 at 293. He's hit 12 homers and 50 RBIs for Sussex County this year. That home run total would be good for tied for second on this Florence team with Bobo and Blomquist. Fouls the 2-0 back. They're getting a fastball top of the zone. Again, seeing runners on base is definitely not something new for Villalobos. And 2, what we would say pretty solid starts in his last 2 appearances. He gave up a total of 19 hits. Missed a slider downstairs, and it's given Taylor a hitter's 3-1 count. 4 earned on 10 hits and 6 2/3 against Joliet. Before that, 6 innings of 3-run baseball that saw 9 hits against Gateway. It was a couple of weeks ago. And Florence won both of those games. 3-1, Taylor fouls back, and we're now full. So this pitch count getting way up for Villalobos. We've seen full counts now from the last couple of batters, and a pretty long at-bat for Mateo, who led things off. It's the only out so far of the inning on a ground out to third. Payoff incoming. Misses downstairs, and 3 straight have reached here for Sussex County. And we'll update you. They did give it a hit on the Evan Berkey ground ball over to short. Toby Hall will come out to have a chat with Yannick Villalobos as the bases are now loaded. With just 1 out of the bottom of the first. Well, in case you haven't noticed yet, this is not Rory Teddemer. It's Rory Teddemer commenting on the YouTube stream, Go Y'alls. Ben Howler alongside with you for this whole road trip. Rory Teddemer, I guess, wants a mid-season vacation. But I'll be with you all week here at Sussex County and Brockton. Don't worry, Rory will be back in the office when Florence is back in Kentucky next week. Here's Mackay Backstrom's Toby Hall back to the Florence dugout. An infield single and a couple of walks after a ground out to third. Load the bases with just 1 out. Sussex County threatening to score first, which Florence has seen a lot, even on this 8-game winning streak. The very big right fielder, Backstrom, sees a first pitch curveball down the middle of the zone, back pick to first. Pretty good throw over, but Keenan Taylor was just back in time. Backstrom hitting over 300 on the season. He's got 9 homers. This is a Sussex County team that can hit home runs. You see it really more in the 4 through 7 spots of the lineup, just to combine 8 homers in the top 3 in the lineup. Fouls, another off-speed back. And Villalobos has now gotten ahead of this count 0-2. Well, you could really use a strikeout here. 5 strikeouts in his 6 2/3 back on Wednesday. The 0-2. Swing and a miss, and he got it. Went fastball upstairs and just snuck it by Backstrom. Huge second out. All 3 runners stay put. And it'll be up to Dean Ferrara for Sussex County to get anything across in this first. Nothing surprising about it, just a fastball top of the zone. And Backstrom Couldn't catch up. Base is still loaded for Ferrara. Fastball way upstairs. Beetle thought about throwing down to first base. So the Sussex County third baseman steps in. Hitting sixth today. Actually is the highest batting average on this minors team at .335. It was just a really big contact bat. Fastball called strike at the letters. Ball and a strike. Does have 5 homers, so not discounting that he's got a little bit of power, but I mean what this guy has done with his bat. Played his college career at Fairfield. He broke the school and conference record, so that's both the Fairfield school and the MAAC conference record in hits in a season twice. Foul ball down the right field line, tailing towards the visitors' clubhouse. He did it in his junior season, a total of 96 base hits for Fairfield. A college season for a school like Fairfield, typically around 50 games. Did it again his senior season with 99 hits. Again, the Fairfield and the Metro Atlantic Athletic Conference, which I believe is now changing their name to just the Metro. Ball and 2 strikes with the bases loaded at 2 outs at the bottom of the first. No score yet. Villalobos out of the stretch. Punched foul, that same spot down the first base line. You know, we're still waiting to see exactly what the Florence rotation will look like as we start to play a normal schedule and get more just 6-game weeks. But as it stands, it will be Villalobos get the 2-start week this week. Another 1-2 pitch way upstairs at the eyes of Ferrara. Deuces are wild with 2 outs. Villalobos, the 2-2. Grounded off the foot of Ferrara. It goes down to the ground, has to get up. So, again, this first inning pitch count's not going to be doing any favors for Villalobos, even if he can get out of it. Berkey at third, Maciel at second, and Taylor at first. Off speed, misses low, and the count is now full. Nowhere to put Ferrara. Payoff pitch. Runners off. Called strike 3 on the outside corner. Just snuck it in there, and 2 huge strikeouts for Villalobos. But a very taxing first inning is still scoreless as we go to the second, and Sussex County leaves them loaded on the Frontier League Network, powered by HTN. 1, 2, 3, top of the first for Florence. So our first look at the middle third against Tristan Harley, Zade Richardson, another start as the Florence DH. First pitch fastball, top of the zone, called strike to him. No longer the team leader in batting average because of the week Zeisler just had, but still an extremely impressive 348. Had a home run in the first game of the doubleheader on Sunday, and he punches one the opposite way. That'll drop in for a base hit right in front of Backstrom. First Florence batter to reach, first base hit to Zade Richardson. Outside pitch that Richardson just took the opposite way. Here comes Brendan Bobo. Florence has been experimenting with a little bit. Had 2 off days in a 4-game series. And then he actually, for the first time this season, hit 7th in the lineup on Sunday. Went 0 for 2 in that game. Takes a first pitch fastball on the outside corner. Batting average still sitting around 280 and tied for second of the team in home runs with 12. Looks like they're starting to settle in with a consistent Zade Richardson DH. Throw over to first, 1 hop. A little bit of trouble for Romero, but he at least keeps it at front. Keeps Richardson at first. And the 0-1 runs inside. It hits Bobo. Fastball up in at his arms. Not sure exactly where that hit him, but opportunity here for Florence. Runners on first at second and nobody out. It looks like that back left elbow. He'll get looked at by Toby Hall and the Sussex County athletic trainer. That's Joe Bruno. Patrick McCormick will be on this road trip, but had some other duties on Monday. Didn't, I think is what I've heard is landing here in New Jersey pretty much right around first pitch of this game. So I don't think he's going to make it for game 1 of the series. He'll be back with the team the last 5 games of this road stretch. Here it is, first at second, nobody out for Garrett Broussard. Top of the second inning. First pitch fastball, top of the zone for a strike. Well, that's a very generous call. So the track man here a tad bit late. Seems like we're about a pitch late. Broussard check swing, foul ball towards the Sussex County dugout. He's down at an 0-2 hole. Broussard is certainly trying to break out of a little bit of a schneid. You look at the last 2 series for the Florence third baseman. It was 1 for 11 with 4 RBIs in the 4 games against Gateway after a 1 for 12 series against Joliet. Fastball misses outside. It is pretty rare, though, to see 4 RBIs and just 1 base hit. He had a sac fly, had an RBI walk in there, and I think an RBI groundout was the other one. So still finding ways to produce without the base hits. Harley almost threw the slider to the backstop and evens the count up with Broussard at 2 balls, 2 strikes. You'd have to go back 2 starts to the last time Harley gave up a base hit after 5 1/3 scoreless against Ottawa his last time. Looks at second, comes home with a 2-2, and the slider just misses outside. Some moans and groans from the Sussex County dugout. And the count's full on Broussard. Payoff pitch. Skied foul down the first base line. Get a little bit of a look on that cam down the first base line, exactly what this backdrop looks like. It's all trees out here, and I wouldn't call it a mountain. Definitely not tall enough for a mountain, but definitely a pretty large hill. It makes a really cool backdrop and view out in center field. Try a payoff again. Grounder over to third base and off the glove at third, but still stepping on first. Ferrara saved and out there. Bobo over to second. Broussard into first. That could have been danger for Sussex County, but that's just going to be a 5 unassisted fielder's choice. So runners stay first at second here. With the first out of the inning for Harley. Take a look, that one hop Ferrara tried to play it off of. Still able to make the play and pretty much just fall on the third base back. Now Milo Rushford with Broussard replacing Bobo at first. Bobo gets to second. It's Richardson now off the base paths. Fastball way upstairs to the Florence left fielder. Got ejected in Game 4 of that Gateway Series. It made things really interesting when there was already an injury in the game. Florence emptied their bench in a situation where they really couldn't afford for him to get ejected. It's his first ejection of the season. Fastball popped up, third base side, foul territory. Ferrara going over right by the dugout, and he makes the play over the fence. Over that barrier down the third base line, reached into the stands and took it away. Huge second out here for Harley. Take another look just past that Florence dugout. That's a really good catch for Ferrara. It would have bounced in the first row of seats. Last hope in the inning now is Dylan Baker for Florence. Still runners first at second, now 2 outs. First pitch fastball upstairs. Baker still sits third on this team in RBIs with 51. Fortunately for him, doesn't have any more games against Gateway. Still 9 homers and 51 RBIs. Batting average down to 253. Fastball into his hands at a 2-0 count. Harley trying to get out of the inning after giving up a single and a hit by pitch. This one's popped up foul. It'll get out of play behind home plate down the first base line. 2 balls and a strike. Florence riding their longest win streak of the season at 8. They would love to make it 9. Was looking to see what the franchise longest win streak was. They're not quite close yet. 2021 team started off the season 13-0. So it's a 13-game win streak to start the year. 2-1's punched foul in that opposite same spot as last time. Counts 2-2 on the shortstop. Bobo at second, Broussard at first. Off speed just misses up and in. A lot of really good movement as Gaston has trouble getting the ball back to first base. Again, I think the TrackMan is just a pitch, maybe a couple pitches late, because I don't think that ball was thrown at 92 miles an hour. Runners off of the pitch, 3-2. Hard grounder, just foul. A little early on it is Baker. Stay alive with the count. Pitch was at 91 miles an hour on the fastball. Payoff again. Grounder this time back up the middle. Slow one. Charging at short Berkey. Throw to first in time to get Baker. Florence strands a couple. The first 2 reach, but a couple of really nice plays at third from Ferrara. Get him out of the top of the second. We'll go to the bottom of the second. Villalobos back on the mound. Frontier League Network, powered by HTN. Yannick Villalobos back out to the bump after a very eventful, about as eventful as it gets without a run, bottom of the first. Still scoreless, bottom of the second, game one between Florence and Sussex County. Villalobos faces the bottom third of the Miners lineup. Kiko Romero, Sandro Gaston, Hayden Walters. Romero's with an interesting square to bunt, couple of steps up to start the plate appearance. First pitch is a strike. To another very tall Sussex County player. They have a couple that are like 6'5", both him and Backstrom. A very large swing and a miss there, goes down 0-2. But Romero just recently got done playing with AA Somerset last season in the New York Yankees organization. He's got the lowest batting average in the starting lineup today for Sussex County, but tied for second on the team in home runs with 9. Power bat hitting 7th. 0-2 off speed, called, strike 3. 3 straight Ks here for Villalobos. That's 2 in a row that are looking. So 3 on the game for him now. Slider just ended up on the outside corner. Sandro Gaston's catching. Hitting 8th. Swings the first pitch. Fastball for a strike. First thing you notice when you look top to bottom in the Sussex County lineup, just so many guys with affiliated experience, top to bottom. This one's popped up shallow right field. Zeisler going back. It's down the first base line, and he's got it, twisting his body just in fair territory. And a fun little jump throw back in the infield. Didn't need it. So 2 retired pretty quickly here in the second for Villa. Yeah, that's a tough one because there's really no chance that anyone has that besides Zeisler. I thought it was going to go foul with the trajectory Zeisler was running towards the line, but that would have dropped into fair territory if he can't make the play. Now Hayden Walters, the Sussex County second baseman. Two outs, nobody on. Corners come in for Florence. First pitch, fastball strike. Another pretty interesting thing about Sussex County, you just don't see it a whole lot, Walters being one of them. They have 2 different guys on their coaching staff that have sons on the team. Changeup, cold strike, top of the zone. Hayden Walters is son of the Sussex County hitting coach Simon Walters. And then, of course, relief pitcher C.J. Widger. As this one is a jam shot right towards Villalobos. He will jog and make the play down the line. To finish that thought, Widger, son of Chris Widger, the Sussex County manager. Villalobos settles in. Very different scoreless bottom of the second. No score through 2 on the Frontier League Network, powered by HTN. 9-1-2 for Florence to start the top of the third. No score between the Y'alls and Miners. Feels like it has been some time since we have seen a scoreless first 2 innings. I don't think it happened at all. I could be wrong. It definitely, if it happened, it only happened once in the 7-game homestand for Florence last week. First pitch strike to Florence catcher Zach Beadle. Third inning always brought to you by the Roar Agency. Located in all 50 states across the nation, feel the Roar difference with Roar Insurance and visit us today at roarins.com. 1 ball, 1 strike here to Beadle. We also have Haller Trivia. Yes, Haller Trivia. I didn't come up with a better name. I really did think about it. Couldn't find any plays off of Haller. I couldn't find any plays off of Ben. Breaking ball low. We're also not on Twitter today, so you could obviously tweet at me the answers or at the Florence Y'alls account, but I did not post myself to Twitter, so it's going to be limited to just people who are listening to the broadcast as Zach Beadle now tips one into the mitt of Gaston. This one might be really easy. It's something that I found out was a pretty interesting stat, that it might be somewhat easy for people to get, but I did not know this. So today's Haller Trivia question, the only MLB pitcher in the history of the league to record, after Beadle fouls one off, to record a perfect game, an immaculate inning, and a 4-pitch strikeout. All 3 of those feats at some point in their career. There will be no hints. You're already limited to the 24 perfect games that have been pitched in MLB history, so you already have a pretty small pool. 1 pitcher in MLB history, perfect game, 4-pitch strikeout, immaculate inning. Grounder over to short, again charging at short is Berkey. Throw over in time for out number 1. It's gotten a lot of action over there. It's the 3rd ground out in just 7 outs to short. Really, we haven't seen a whole lot of balls hit in the air today in general. 1 fly out for Florence in the outfield. None for Sussex County hitting. So you can tweet at me at @big_Ben Haller. You can comment on our YouTube live stream comment section, or you can text me the answer. Those are your 3 ways. First pitch fastball out to Jackson Tucker. 1-0. Tucker back with Florence for a short time. With Cheney Felt not in the lineup today, they needed a leadoff hitter. It had been Milo Rushford a few times. He was, okay in that leadoff spot. He had some decent games there. Contact numbers have fallen. He's still getting on base. Tucker, on the other hand, one of the few 300 hitters left on this Florence team. Garrett Broussard has dropped under 300. So the last remaining are Tucker, Zeisler, Richardson, and Blomquist. Slider catches the top of the zone, 2 balls and a strike. With 1 out and nobody else, nobody on base for Tucker. 2-1 Tucker laces one hard into left field. Liner to the left side of the infield. It gets all the way on a couple of hops to Mariel. Second hit of the game for Florence, and they've got a runner on base here in the 3rd. That's what Jackson Tucker does, .312 batting average. He's also starting to hit some home runs. Had a home run in what we thought might have been his last game with Florence. Now Blomquist with a runner on first. Grounder down the 3rd baseline of the first pitch. Picked up. Throw to second is in time. Throw to first is not. Blomquist beats the throw. Ferraro with a nice flip over to Walters at second, but the turn not quick enough to get the speedy second baseman. He will replace Tucker at first on the 5-4 fielder's choice. 2 outs the first time Hank Zeisler have a runner on base. Pretty deep fly out just in front of the warning track. Again, Zeisler's got the only fly out to the outfield. About 2.5 innings of this game so far. And Zeisler will ground it over to the right side, and it gets past the glove on a dive by Walters. Blomquist stops at second. That's going to go as a base hit. I heard from the opposite broadcast booth after Walter said to get it on a slide. So I do see in the comment section as we're playing Howler Trivia, and I guess I could have explained this better, what on earth is a 4-pitch strikeout? So there's got to be a drop third strike in there. So strike out the side. One of those 3 strikeouts is a drop third strike, so they have to get another out, and they get a 4th strikeout in the inning. One pitcher has done that while also recording a perfect game and immaculate inning at some point in their career. Again, you can tweet at me the answer at @big_Ben Haller. Comment on our YouTube live stream, or you can text me. First pitch, fastball into the hands of Zade Richardson. First at second with 2 outs. Second time Florence has had a couple of runners on, trying to strike first at Skyland Stadium. 1-0, up with the zone. Called a strike. And I'm actually disappointed because I am just now hearing on that comment that Rory Teddemer has done this question before. As Richardson hits one deep into left center, Mariel and Messiel over. They look up and got it at the track. Mateo just in front of that left center field wall. Pulls it in as Richardson gave it a good ride, but one of the deepest parts of the park. Get your answers in on YouTube or on Twitter as we go to the bottom of the third. Florence leaves a couple more on the Frontier League Network, powered by HTN. Villalobos back out for the bottom of the third. I do realize I think I made a little bit of a mistake on the trivia question, as Rory Teddemer pointed out. I don't know what a 4-pitch strikeout is. Well, I guess I do know, but I guess that's pretty common. 4 strikeout inning. I don't know why I was saying 4-pitch strikeout. But the question, again, we'll read the answers, or we'll get you the answer with 2 outs in the inning. Only MLB pitcher in history to throw a perfect game, record an immaculate inning, and a 4-strikeout inning in their career. And Rory Teddemer has already done this one, so he will know the answer. I think we only have 2 answers right now. It's him and Rich Teddemer. First pitch low. We get back to the top of the lineup here for Sussex County, and Edwin Mateo just made a play at the warning track. Big swing and a miss on a fastball just on that outside corner. So ball and a strike to Mateo. Again, I didn't tweet it today, so we're probably not going to get a lot of answers. You kind of have to go a little bit more out of your way to tweet at me. Villalobos finds the zone again on another fastball. This time on the inside part. To go ahead 1-2 on Mateo. Grounded out to third his first time up. As the first out Villalobos has recorded. Off speed. This one kind of an awkward angle off the end of the bat. It's one hopped over to second, and Blomquist makes an easy throw to first. That is 6 straight retired here for Villalobos. Start reading some answers for Howler Trivia. We'll give you a little time, Sergeant Bilko. I'm seeing that comment. No, I do. See Tom Browning from Stephen Gregg. The question, first and only MLB pitcher in history to record a perfect game, an immaculate inning, and a 4-strikeout inning. All three of those in their career. Only answers we have so far. Again, I don't know why I was saying 4-pitch strikeout. Rory knew the question, so I don't think he answered. He does say that Rich Teddemer says Tom Browning. You will join Stephen Gregg, who also says Tom Browning. 2 balls, no strikes to start off Evan Berkey, the shortstop. Change-up, cold strike on the outside corner. 2-1. Berkey singled over to first. So those are the only answers we have. Again, we're playing, not doing it on Twitter, so probably not going to see as many answers. Called strike at the knees again. These Sussex County hitters are not swinging at much in these last couple of innings. 2 scoreless to the first 2 for Villalobos, but they could not have been night and day different. Swing and a miss here. Got another strikeout. That is the 4th for Villalobos. Went with an off-speed downstairs, and Berkey went after it. Make it 7 straight retired, with 4 of those being Ks in that span for the Florence lefty, starting to find a groove. Gabriel Maciel lays down a bunt, popped up. Villalobos sprinting, Beetle over. He's got it at foul ground. 1 pitch, didn't have a chance to give you the Howler trivia answers. We will at the top of the 4th. Yannick Villalobos starting to settle in a little bit on the Frontier League Network, powered by HTN. Brandon Bobo will start things off at the top of the 4th for Florence. And he will take the first pitch, hit it deep into left field. Mariel going back. He's leaping at the wall, and he's got it. 1 pitch, 1 hard hit fly ball out to left for Bobo. But a really nice play out in left by Maciel. Tristan Harley is the one back out to the bump for the 4th. Didn't get you that Allard trivia answer with such a quick bottom of the 3rd. Garrett Broussard stands in. Fastball up. Didn't see anything on Twitter. Again, you could have tweeted at me, but I didn't post it on Twitter. So nothing there. Only answers are in a live chat. I see Rich Teddemer guessing Tom Browning. I see Stephen Gregg guessing Tom Browning. Fastball low, 2-0. And then I do see 1 correct answer in the chat for Sergeant Bilko. He even, make it easier, just read off his comment. Felix Hernandez is the only pitcher in MLB history with a perfect game, immaculate inning, and 4 strikeout inning. Seattle Mariners right-handed pitcher recorded an immaculate inning on June 17, 2008, 4 strikeout inning on June 3, 2010, and a perfect game on August 15, 2012. 2-1 to Broussard. Check swing, buckled him. It's in there for a strike. So congratulations to Sergeant Bilko, the only one with the correct answer. You are our winner today. Rory would have gotten it right. Apparently he had done that question before. It was either on the road or in another season, as Broussard is down on strikes, swinging at a off-speed outside. And that right there, for how well Harley is pitching, is his first strikeout of the game. That comes at the top of the 4th. Just 1 strikeout of the game now and no walks through 3 2/3 for the rookie right-hander. Milo Rushford with 2 outs, nobody on. No score from Skyland Stadium. First pitch at the knees for a strike. Rushford popped up to third his last time up. Congratulations to Sergeant Bilko. I may have thrown people off, giving their answers in late. Fastball top of the zone 0-2 by saying whatever a 4-pitch strikeout is. Again, I would assume Felix Hernandez also has that in his career. Probably has a lot of 4-pitch strikeouts. 0-2 off speed. Gaston thought it was strike 3. But not according to our crew chief, Ken Jackson. We'll get you that umpire intro brought to you by Pella Windows. Looking for a clear view of every call? Trust Pella Window and Door, bringing you replay-worthy clarity and craftsmanship you can count on. Count evens up at 2-2, fastball low and in. Pella Window and Door, so good, even the ump won't miss a thing. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. And the top of the 4th here on Rushford. Gaston sets up outside, and Rushford lays off of it. And Rushford gets brushed off the plate on the 3-2. So a 2-out walk, first time that Milo's been on base. Florence has now had a runner on in each of the last 3 innings. And the second time Dylan Baker will have a couple of runners. Left 4 on, 2 in each of the last 2 innings. Slider misses just out. Baker had that play in the bottom of the 1st at short that I pretty harshly, I think, initially assumed it would be an error. It was a play where Rushford had to go right pretty far out from his spot, throw across his body, a couple of hops. Sicer couldn't handle it, and he cranks one out to left. Hard line drive past the glove of Maciel. Round second is Rushford. Maciel picks it up, throws back in. Rushford stops at third. Baker's into second with a 2-out double. Cannot score the runner, though, from first, as I think that was just so hard hit. Maciel, it got to him in a hurry. I was actually looking on the replay now. It didn't even hit the wall. It was grabbed just before the wall by Maciel. So Rushford at third, Baker at second. 2 at scoring position. Florence looking for their first lead with Zach Beadle, who has been cold on the mound. At the plate, rather, not on the mound. Batting average down to .233. It's the lowest on the team. First pitch, takes it, fouls it down the first base line opposite way. That double for Baker is his first hit since the Joliet series. He would 0 for 12 series against Gateway. Beadle hits the off speed, that same exact spot to go down to the count. Now 0-2. Am I seeing that right on the camera? There are toilet seats. What look exactly like toilet seats. They're just like toilets and handicap seats down the first baseline. I'm going to have to get a story on that. I'm assuming and really hoping they're not operational toilets. 0-2, Beetle, opposite way. A diving grab at first by Romero. Flip to first is in time. A spectacular play by Kiko Romero to take away an RBI base hit for Zach Beetle. And that's it for the top of the fourth. Florence strands a couple once again. Right here on the Frontier League Network, powered by HTN. Yannick Villalobos working on 8 straight retired. The last 2 outs in the first, and then down to the second of the third. Nothing going for the Florence offense, though. 2 stranded in each of the last 3 innings. So it's scoreless in the bottom of the fourth. As the left-hander goes back to work against the middle third of the lineup, we'll see another Keaton Taylor plate appearance. It's a school night here at Skyland Stadium. I don't know what that entails. I don't know if you could get like a field trip, after school hours. I don't think I ever had anything like that while I was in school, but there are some school groups in attendance. They're just reading them off. So that's interesting. That's a first for me. Here comes Keenan Taylor to start things off at the bottom of the fourth. The former Y'all walked in his first plate appearance. Just got done playing Haller Trivia. First pitch to Taylor's in there for a strike. Only player in MLB history to record a perfect game, immaculate inning, and a 4 strikeout inning in their career. Foul ball for Taylor. Villalobos quickly ahead 0-2. Sergeant Bilko, as always, so graciously breaking down the nuances of a 4 strikeout inning. 0-2 throwaway pitch way upstairs to Keenan Taylor. 133 was his average with Florence and 30 ABs. Stark contrast to his 293 with Sussex County. He fouls the 1-2 right back up near me. Hit one of the glasses of, I think, the suites down to my right side. Really good view here at Skyland Stadium. I can't complain. I'm barely off center of home plate. Swing and a miss. Villalobos off speed again, and this time Keaton Taylor can't catch up. That's 5 Ks for him. And now 9 straight retired. The last time through the order, 5-4. It started, that streak did, with the strikeout of Mekhi Backstrom. Struck out back-to-back batters in the bottom of the first. As this one will end on a fastball way inside that hits Backstrom. That stranded the bases, loaded in the first. But now Backstrom will get the free pass over to first base, wave off the trainers. That one just barely grazed him on the inside of his body. So Dean Ferrara steps in. First time with a runner on base since the first inning for Sussex County. Well, we saw Ferrara make a couple of really nice plays over at third base back in the second. Ground ball to him where he initially bobbled, but it was a hard hit ground ball off of his glove. Had to make an acrobatic turn to step on third to still get the lead runner out when there were runners on first and second. First pitch to him is low. And a batter later, he reached over a full row into the stands down the foul line to make a play over that barrier. Breaking ball low again, 2-0 count for Ferrara. Two-0. Change up. Anthony's called a strike. This call for the lights is brought to you by Class Jewelers as we're starting to see that sunset here in hilly Augusta, New Jersey. Our diamond is shining bright thanks to our friends at Class Jewelers. Tried that same change up, same spot, missed inside this time. Head on over to Class Jewelers at 7365 Burlington Pike, Florence, for all your jewelry needs. Or call them today at 859-525-7500. Three-one count for Ferrara. Fouls one down the first base line. Count is now full. Good news for Florence. The team that we are probably looking at the most right now would be Evansville. Evansville has a 5-run deficit in the bottom of the second playing Joliet. So Slammers up 5 there. Florence half a game behind Evansville for the first wild card spot as it stands. Windy City and Gateway now pretty sizable margin out behind Florence in that spot. Hard ground ball single through the middle. Base hit for Ferrara. So hit by pitch and a single to break up that streak. 2 on once again now in the fourth for Sussex County. It's just the second base hit that Villalobos has given up today. And it's Kiko Romero who just made that spectacular play over at first base to take away a run or potentially 2 from Florence. On what would have been a single with runners on second and third from Beetle. Backstrom on second, Ferrara on first. Villalobos misses outside with the off-speed. Some other scores, Schaumburg and Gateway are scoreless in the third. Down East Washington. Washington's got a 4-1 lead because of course they do over the Bird Dogs in Washington. This one's popped up behind home plate, foul territory. Actually, that's actually stays in the infield third base side. It'll stay fair territory, but Broussard's gloving it just in front of the third base bag for out number 2. Runners stay put here for Villalobos on the pop-up from Romero. Two on, 2 out now for Gaston. Popped up to first when Zeisler made that spinning grab down the first base line, his first time up. There was one Midwest game that already played today. Fastball up, Beetle thought about a throwdown. The Thunderbolts were in action in New York, so an interleague game, the Boulders got the win during the day, 7-4. Ottawa and Brockton also played a doubleheader. Looks like they're already done with a doubleheader. Day doubleheader on this Tuesday. Beetle calls time to go have a chat with Villalobos. They split a 7-3 win for Brockton, who was the home team. Then Ottawa took the first one, 10-3. Mississippi and Lake Erie, last place of each division in the Midwest, are in a low-scoring affair all the way in the bottom of the 8th in Lake Erie, a 1-1 tie there. That's all of the Midwest play. New Jersey's deadlocked at 3 with Trois-Rivières. Quebec up 10-0 on Tri-City. And we talked about the Ottawa and Brockton doubleheader. 1 ball, no strike count. Mound meeting over, 2-0. First pitch Villalobos throws after the mound meeting is a fastball way outside that brings Beadle out. Villalobos trying to strand 2 like he left the bases loaded in the first. 2-1's popped up. Right side of the infield this time. Brett Blomquist and Zeisler over. It's Blomquist calling him off. He's got it to get out of the bottom of the 4th. So Villalobos working around some runners on base again. And we are scoreless through 4 at Skyland Stadium on the Frontier League Network, powered by HTN. Already in the 5th here at Skyland Stadium. Once again, top of the order for Florence. 3rd time through the lineup. As Jackson Tucker will hit. Takes a first pitch fastball at the letters for a strike. 1 for 2 day for the Florence center fielder. A ground out to second and a single. They really do have him for just these 3 games. We'll see what the playing time looks like. You might think that if he's only here for 3 games, as he drills one deep to left, Maciel's going back at the track, looking up, and that ball is caught at the track. Again, another long fly ball for Florence. This time out to left field. Gabriel Maciel is having some close calls near the wall. Second hard line drive for Tucker into left. 1 down. Brett Blomquist, the 2-hitter. First pitch, off speed, outside ball. But you'd assume with Tucker, if he's only here for the 3 games, that he might get the starts in all 3 games. Sword for Harley as Tucker, an awkward swing. He went down to 1 knee on that check swing, 2. Ball and a strike. So 4 1/3 for Harley so far it's scoreless. He has given up 4 hits, just 1 walk, just 1 strikeout. Slider on that outside corner, given to Harley for a strike. And a 1-2 count on Blomquist. Tries to put that slider in the same spot or get Blomquist to chase, and he missed outside. Counts even at 2s. Now the off-speed misses low, counts full. Zeisler stands on deck. He extended his hitting streak with a single back in the 3rd. Counts full here on Blomquist. Chopper back to the pitcher, having to come way up. Harley throws over to first in time for the out. 2 down in order. The visiting half of the 5th for Tristan Harley. Second time Zeisler will come up with 2 outs and nobody on base, try to make something happen himself. Flight out to left before his single. I still can't get over the numbers from this past week. I still can't get over the 81 RBIs now. That leads the Frontier League. First pitch inside. Not that it's surprising to anyone around the organization, but just how much those numbers were boosted from the last week where he earned Player of the Week. So he's 2 pitches inside, backed off the plate, make it 2-0. Fastball misses outside now. So 3 balls, no strikes on the Florence captain. Harley seemingly wanting nothing to do with him. Gateway did the same thing. Get me over off speed. Lands in the middle of the zone for a strike. Harley has now gone total of 10 consecutive innings scoreless. Beautiful curveball. Top of the zone. Zeisler tossed his bat. Thought it was ball 4. But Ken Jackson says you have to get back into the box. Lucas Naley at first. Mateus Pascal at third. That is our umpires today, with Ken Jackson calling the balls and strikes. As Zeisler takes his timeout. Harley trying to get through 5 scoreless against this Florence offense. You have not seen that a whole lot. They are a team that likes to score early. Payoff pitch. That is outside on another off speed. Again, really close to the zone. But TrackMan does have that bit off the plate. And Richardson will have an opportunity. Runner on first, 2 outs. First pitch almost gets to the backstop. Florence working on an 8-game win streak. A win today would make it 9 in a row. They're also trying to boost that record against the Atlantic Conference this season. It's 5-1 as it stands, with the sweep in New Jersey and a 2 out of 3 win against Down East. That ball does get to the backstop. Zeisler jogs into second. The count is now 2 balls. No strikes on Richardson. Harley's only walked 1 batter. Did hit Bobo, and a walk was surrendered to Milo Rushford. Now what would be the first run of the game in scoring position. 2 outs. 2-0, popped up down the right field line. Backstrom coming in, Romero going out, and that will drop it. Fair territory. Zeisler will come around to score. Richardson head first slide into second, and Florence has a lead. That ball just dropped into no man's land out in right field in between Romero and Backstrom. It's 1-0 Yalls here at the top of the 5th. It was a tougher angle for Romero. And the first step for Backstrom out and right, I think, went a little bit to a right as opposed to in. And, yeah, just nobody able to get to that ball. And with that being hit so high in the air, Richardson gets all the way to second. Zeisler scores. Richardson with an RBI. First pitch, top of the zone, away for Bobo. It's RBI number 43 on the season for Zade Richardson. When the offense is struggling, who else to break it out other than that Zeisler-Richardson pairing? 1-0 count on Bobo. Now he grounds one back up the middle, but a nice play at short. Berkey picks it up on the right side of second and throws to first in time. They'll leave a runner on, but Florence strikes first in the top of the fifth. An RBI bloop single for Zade Richardson halfway home at Skyland Stadium on the Frontier League Network, powered by HTN. First time Yannick Villalobos will pitch with a lead. Now in the bottom of the fifth, Florence with a 1-0 lead over Sussex County. They're out hitting Sussex County 5-2. Miners got a couple on in that bottom of the fourth. Villalobos worked out of it with a couple of infield pop-ups from the 7 and 8 hitters. So we'll start off with a 9-hitter, Hayden Walters. Edwin Mateo, Evan Berkey will also hit in the inning. 1-0 Florence, first pitch pop-up. Initially going back, Blomquist sprints up to get it on infield turf. Makes the grab for out number 1. That is now 3 straight pop-ups on the infield for Sussex County. Villalobos also had a stretch of 3 straight strikeouts. It's back-to-back caught by Blomquist. 2 times through the order for Villalobos as Mateo comes back up. 4 innings and a third scoreless, just 2 hits, 2 walks. He has struck out 4. Mateo shows bunt and just pulled it back. Pitch was low. Batting average sitting at exactly 300 this season. Not a power guy. Mateo a switch hitter, one of 2 switch hitters. Don't see that a whole lot in a lot of lineups. Mateo and Maciel both switch hitters. Fastball up and away from Villalobos. And I do correct myself, 5 strikeouts for Villalobos on the day now. Foul tip the off speed, 2-1. His season high for strikeouts this season is 7 in his second start of the year back at Washington, so could potentially get there today. Missed the 2-1 fastball down and in. Mateo with the Los Angeles Dodgers organization for 5 seasons. Didn't get any higher than high A with Great Lakes. 3-1 pitch, low, but called strike. Maybe a generous call there from Jackson. Counts full on the leadoff hitting center fielder. And the payoff pitch is punched foul down the right field line. Fans trying to get the wave started. There's just not, even if you do get the wave started, there's just not enough fans here for it to look really that cool. This feels more like one of those, Florence Wednesday night games where I just don't think I saw a promotion. Obviously, Florence Wednesday nights have the Wendy's Wrestling Wednesdays and Winning Wednesdays, but definitely the least attended games. Payoff pitch again is called at the bottom of the zone. Mateo sat down on strikes once again. Villalobos living in the bottom third and gets his 6th strikeout of the game. That's his 4th looking. Not much of a protest from Mateo either. 2 down in order. Nobody on bottom of the 5th for Berkey. Skies one in the right field of the first pitch. Settling under it is Bobo, and he's got it in front of the track for out number 3. Another quick 1-2-3 for Villalobos. That's his third 1-2-3 inning and 5th scoreless. It's 1-0 Yalls. Go to the 6th on the Frontier League Network, powered by HTN. We are through 5 of low-scoring baseball. That's back-to-back games been relatively low-scoring for Florence. They have a 1-0 lead as Broussard swings at the first pitch, bounces it over to second, and Walters picks it up and throws to first for out number 1. Rushford at Baker, so the 6, 7, 8 spots as Broussard's put down on the ground out. But Villalobos says work been outstanding for Florence so far today. Say the same for Harley. 5 and a third, 5 hits, 1 run. He has walked a couple of batters, just the 1 strikeout. Milo Rushford with 1 out. Takes a first pitch ball low. Batting average continues to tick down for Milo Rushford. We're all the way down to 259. You know, it's just been slowly falling ever since this really hot start. But it's not incredibly indicative as the off-speed misses in of his value. He's got a 439 on, 403 rather, 403 on base percentage. That's still above 400. Still a big part of the lineup. 2-0 finds the bottom of the zone at the knees for a strike. Another pitch at the knees. Even at 2-2. Florence's left fielder Rushford. Well, with Jackson Tucker leaving and Tyler Schoenfeld still up in the air exactly on what's going on, you might have to see Rushford take more time in center field. Swing and a miss, he's down on strikes. Curveball, Rushford was way out in front. Just the second strikeout of the day for Harley. An RBI single for Zade Richardson back in the 5th broke up Harley's 10 straight scoreless inning streak. Got a great start against Ottawa last week. Baker with 2 outs, nobody on. First pitch fastball called, strike on the outer corner. Baker doubled into left field his last time up. It came with a runner on first. It was hard enough hit that the runner could not come around to score. Off speed dances out of the zone. Even the count up at 1-1. Pops one high, foul and out of play down the first base line. All three games of the series will be at this time, 7:05 official start time for the Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday games. Curveball misses above the zone. Even the count to Baker 2-2. 2 outs, nobody on. Fastball, Baker grounds it to the left side, over and a diving grab by Ferrara, but he could not complete the transfer to get the throw in time. Infield single here for Dylan Baker at a 2-hit day. I believe that should be a hit. We'll see what they rule it here. Ferrara was on a dive to grab the ball. It'll give Beadle another opportunity with a runner on. 2 outs. First pitch outside to the Florence catcher. Came up with runners on second and third in the fourth. 2 outs. He hit a really hard grounder opposite way that looked like it was heading towards the first, second base gap. But a diving grab by Romero, a sliding grab, I should say. Ball gets away. Will move Baker into scoring position. Well, this is exactly how we saw Florence be able to score last inning. With 2 outs, Zeisler just walked. And then Richardson hit a bloop single. But Zeisler got over to second because of a wild pitch here from Harley. Same thing for Baker. We'll see if Beadle can capitalize for Florence with a 1-0 lead at the top of the sixth. 2-0, punches foul once again, back into the net. Another foul ball for Beadle. Count stays 2-2. Beadle had to come in to catch in game 4 after not getting the start, with Kyle Harbison having to move over to first base. So really caught the bulk of 3 of 4 games in the 4-game series against Gateway this past weekend. And he'll probably get the 2-start series this week. 2-2 off speed runs in, counts full. Jackson Tucker stands on deck, who's got a single and another really hard hit fly out. Payoff pitch. Again, punched foul. Beadle starting to put together pretty nice at bat. We don't have the best angle in the bullpens today. They're down the first and third base lines in foul territory, but they're not in play. They're built-in bullpens that are just kind of blocked from my view by the stands. So won't have a great look about who's in the bullpen today. Those who listen regularly know my eyes probably wouldn't get it anyway. Another payoff swing and a miss. Beadle down on strikes. That's 2 Ks in the inning, just for 3 on the game now for Harley, as Florence strands another after the infield single for Baker. Florence, though, keeps a 1-0 lead going to the bottom of the 6th. The Frontier League Network, powered by HTN. Yannick Villalobos back out for the 6th inning. Still yet to allow a run against Sussex County. Just 2 hits on what so far has been one of his better performances of the year. Is it 75 pitches? So nearing an end, but definitely if he's clean, might have an inning or 2 left in him. He'll face the heart of the Sussex County order, though. Gabriel Maciel, Keenan Taylor, and Mackay Backstrom. 6 strikeouts. At a season high of just 7, he's 1 away. Off speed in there for a strike on Maciel. Reached on a walk, then he popped up to the catcher. Lit a bunt down. I think it was just showing bunt. It came with 2 outs, nobody on. Maybe bunting for a base hit. Fastball ends up outside off the plate. Chill. 0 for 1 after a 1 for 4 day series finale against Lake Erie. Got a 3-game sweep of the Crushers. This one's punched opposite way. It'll drop in for a base hit, get all the way into the corner. And the hands go up immediately for Bobo and Wright, saying that ball got out of play. It'll be a leadoff ground rule double for Maciel. Just the 2nd hit of the day for Sussex County. Seeing exactly how this got out of play, I guess there's a area in the corner near the Sussex County bullpen where it has to take a pretty tough bounce to get up there, but I guess it did get into the bullpen. So Keenan Taylor's got a chance to tie it up. Runner on second, nobody out. Goes after the first pitch. Boy, Taylor was swinging for the fences. He leads Sussex County in long balls with 12 on the year. And he, of course, got to the team a little bit late after starting the season with Florence. Fastball misses low and in, a ball and a strike. Villalobos has had his command pretty well today, too. Just 2 walks, obviously with those 6 strikeouts. He has hit 1 batter. Fastball brings Beadle out of his crouch, puts Taylor ahead, now 2-1. 5-1 record against the Atlantic for Florence. All 6 of those games come at home. So this is Florence's first time playing an Atlantic team on the road. This whole week will be 6 games at Atlantic teams. Taylor fouls it back. Count evens up 2-2. Talked about Florence's place in the standings. Sussex County sits 3.5 games out of their second wild card spot. That's behind a team in their division, the Boulders, out of New York. Two off the bat of Taylor. An check swing gets into fair territory. Villalobos picks it up and flips it over to first. Little bit of a break there, but it does move Maciel over to third base and sets up a sacrifice situation. Take another look at it. That hit the knob of the bat. Off the knob of Keenan Taylor's bat and went right back to Villalobos. It records the first out of the inning. And Toby Hall will come out to have a conversation with Villalobos. Again, cannot see from our angle in the press box what is going on in the Florence bullpen down the third base line. It's blocked by some seating. It's down a little bit. So we'll see if this meeting is just a conversation on how to attack this next batter. Villalobos at 82 pitches. I'm not sure if he'll be getting pulled from this game, but Florence has a pretty well-rested bullpen. And it looks like he will keep Villalobos in this game. It's that the first time Sussex County has had a runner on third with less than 2 outs? Had the bases loaded back in the first, and Villalobos got back-to-back strikeouts to get out of the inning. He's been scoreless ever since. With Gabriel Maciel over at third. And Mekhi Backstrom, the .323 hitting right fielder at the plate. Strikeout and a hit by pitch in his 2 plate appearances as the infield comes in. First pitch, inside corner for a strike. Villalobos would love a strikeout that would also tie his season high in Ks with 7. Fouls the 0-1 off of his own foot. Not sure Broussard and Villalobos realized a little bit late that that's going to be considered a foul ball. So here goes Villalobos up with the count now 0-2. 30 RBIs on the year for Backstrom in his second season with Sussex County. Extremely similar stats from last year to this year. He's been a consistent mainstay right in that middle of the minors lineup. He's batting 5th today. As Ken Jackson calls a timeout to get some more baseballs. Backstrom back in, waiting the 0-2. Large lead for Maciel over at third. Buried in the dirt, Beetle with a nice block for ball 1 of the AB. Backstrom homered in his last game out on Sunday, just a solo shot against Lake Erie. 1-2, swing and a miss. Villalobos with another runner on third, less than 2 out strikeout. He has now tied his season high for strikeouts with 7 and keeps getting them in the biggest spots. 2 down in the inning now, with Maciel staying over at third. It's the second time he's got Backstrom down on Ks now too. And Florence, we don't see this a whole lot from him, will throw up the force. Intentionally walk with 2 outs and a runner on third, Dean Ferrara, who already has a single in this game, one of just 3 hits on Villalobos, to get to Kiko Romero. How about that from the Florence dugout? The decision making. Two on, 2 outs on the corners for Romero. 1-0 Florence lead, bottom of the 6th. First pitch, fastball, top of the zone's a strike. Villalobos has dialed it up when he's needed to. Just 89 miles an hour on that fastball. Throws a breaking ball in the dirt, swing and a miss. Beetle was looking for it, but it was right under his feet. 78-mile-an-hour changeup. And Beetle found it in time. Villalobos covering home. No chance for Maciel to move. Ferrara staying over at first as well. So 0-2 count now after that swing and miss for Romero. Two outs, obviously. Infield moves back to their normal positions, playing Romero pretty straight up. 0-2 grounder, fouled on the first base line. Villalobos now at 87 pitches. If he can get this out, might have a 7th inning in him, but obviously one of the biggest at-bats of the game to this point. Just a 1-run game. Florence the RBI single from Zade Richardson back in the 5th. 1-2 is hit hard into right, but right at Brendan Bobo's got it. hard line drive with runners on the corners and 2 outs. But Brandon Bobo's in the perfect spot to get Yanniker Villalobos out of the inning. That's now 6 scoreless from Villa. Third of the way left in this game. Florence in the driver's seat, just 1-0 on the Frontier League Network, powered by HTN. Who's hanging out pitching change for Sussex County? Looking for the perfect spot to relax and open your favorite baseball or Pokemon trading cards? Visit former Reds reliever J.J. Hoover at Who's Hang Out today at 405 Washington Street, Suite D in Alexandria. Sussex County goes righty to righty. Billy Parsons with a 6.5 ERA has been used almost more than anybody in this Miners bullpen. Will take the ball from Tristan Harley, who gave the Miners 6 really good one-run innings. Completed a perfect 3 times through the order. 6 hits, just the 1 run, 3 Ks and a couple of walks. Parsons will have to start things off against the top third of this Florence lineup. Tucker, Blomquist, and Zeisler. First pitch to Jackson Tucker is a fastball up. Always one of my favorite parts of the day. Didn't get a chance to do it in the 6th inning, but it's this date in baseball history, always brought to you by Furniture Fair. Style, comfort, value, that's the Furniture Fair promise. Visit your local showroom or shop online at FurnitureFair.net. 1 ball and 1 strike on Tucker to start things off. Fastball up and away again to Tucker. First one we got on August 4th, 1901. Another Cincinnati thing. Cincinnati and Pittsburgh players are clocked while running from home plate to first base. The fastest time for the 90-foot sprint is 3 seconds flat by Pirates outfielder Ginger Beaumont. I guess it's the first time they were clocked running? I don't know. Tucker fouls it down the first base line. 1909, umpire Tim Hurst instigates a riot by spitting at Athletics second baseman Eddie Collins, who had questioned a call. The incident eventually leads to Hurst's banishment from baseball 2 weeks later. Two and two after the foul ball here for Tucker. Fouls another one back into the netting. We'll go to a recent one, 1997. Brad Radke of Minnesota got his 12th straight win. Pitched 7 strong innings in the Twins' 9-3 victory over Toronto. Radke became only the 3rd pitcher since 1950 to win 12 consecutive starts. That is insane. 12 straight. Another foul ball for Tucker. This time Not as far hit, but hit the opposite way. This is one that I keep seeing and is always one of my favorites. In 1929, the Cleveland Indians, down to their last out, scored 9 runs in the ninth inning for a 14-6 comeback victory over the Yankees. 9 runs, all with 2 outs in the ninth. 2-2, Tucker waves at and misses the slider outside. Parsons gets his first strikeout. Tucker down for the first time on strikes.
Second baseman, Brett Blomquist.
Fourth strikeout for Florence hitting today. Their offense, obviously a lot of metrics have them as the best offense in the league, but they strike out a lot. It is not rare to see many of those. Blomquist takes a first pitch strike. He's still looking for his first base hit in a couple of games. 3 groundouts, one of them being a fielder's choice today. 0-1 punched foul the opposite way, so down to the 0-2 hole. It's just that the 7th inning crowd definitely starts to fizzle out at Skyland Stadium. Seventh inning is when Rory, of course, usually does his Rip That Pack segment. I was going to come up with something creative. I got nothing for you guys today. We'll continue to monitor the situation as it's popped shallow outfield. And actually, it's the second baseman, Walters, who will go in outfield turf to grab it. 2 down in order here for Parsons.
First baseman, Hank Zeisler.
Now Zeisler with 2 gone and nobody out. Again, his 3rd time he will come up to the plate. 2 outs and nobody on. Last time, somewhat manufactured a run, working a 2-out walk and then scoring on an RBI single from Zade Richardson after he got to second on a wild pitch. Fastball misses inside from Parsons. 93 miles an hour. We've seen 91, 92 for Parsons. Gets all the way back up to 93 on this. It's got some velocity. Goes back off speed, 87. Actually, maybe more of a 2-seam fastball. Called strike on the inside corner. 1-1 on Zeisler. This one's lined hard and a diving grab by Berkey. Took away a base hit from Zeisler. 97 off the bat, full Superman dive over it short by Evan Berkey, who has had a nice game defensively. A lot of really good defensive plays here for Sussex County as it's stretch time from Augusta, New Jersey. Florence still the 1-0 lead on the Frontier League Network, powered by HTN. Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken pitching change for Florence. With a new wing coming into the game, you can pick up the best wings in the tri-state area at Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken. Yannick Villalobos, an outstanding six-inning scoreless performance for Florence. And they will return to someone who they are insistent on making a high-leverage guy, Logan Jones, whose strikeout numbers have made for some fantastic outings the last few after he struggled a little bit a couple weeks ago. So Logan Jones, the first out of the bullpen for Florence in a 1-0 ball game, bottom of the seventh, 8-9-1 for Sussex County. Sandro Gaston to lead things off. First pitch Jones throws is at off speed, swing and a miss. Pitch tailing low on Gaston, who's popped up to first, popped up to second. The pop up to second also left a couple on base. Another beautiful off speed lands on that inside corner. 2470 on the spin rate. 6 inches of horizontal break, 78. Jones ahead of the count now, 0-2. As that same off speed just misses inside of Gaston. Jones had that streak of 8 straight strikeouts from start against Joliet to a start against Gateway, all on that homestand. It's his ERA down to 7.04. Fastball thrown way outside to even the count up at 2-2. So ERA sitting just around 7 for Jones. Whip still above 2. That's the number he's trying to fix. The walks have been really the biggest issue when he has struggled this year. 2-2, swing and a miss. Gets the strikeout. Another off-speed downstairs. Filthy. To get Gaston to swing and miss. 8th strikeout of the day for Florence pitching after Villalobos had 7 of them. Look at that. 9-1. After the one out here, Hayden Walters. First pitch, top of the zone, called a strike at 89 miles an hour. Jones will sit around 90 typically. After Villalobos' final line is 6 innings scoreless, just 3 hits and 3 walks. He struck out 7. Take a bow, Mr. Villalobos, tying his season high in strikeouts. Breaking ball misses low and in, a ball and a strike on Walters. Couple of pop-ups for Walters today too. One back to the pitcher and then one pop-up to second. Punches the fastball opposite field. Now 1-2, Logan Jones ahead. So the fully rested bullpen, a lot of options, especially after that off day on Monday. In a 1-run game, the first game of the series, Florence will go to Logan Jones. That's telling on what they think of him moving forward. 1-2 grounder down the first base line, just spun foul before getting to the first base bag. Zeisler can't keep it in fair territory. Count stays at 1-2. It's not a great day for this date in baseball history. I'm not seeing some great ones. This one's interesting. Back in 1983, while warming up before the 5th inning of the Yankees' 3-1 win over the Blue Jays at Toronto's Exhibition Stadium. 1-2, called strike 3, top of the zone. Couple of strikeouts to start off Jones, one swinging and one looking. This time it's Walters down on strikes. Went to that changeup to get the strikeout. Gets to the top of the zone, Edwin Mateo. With 2 gone, nobody on base. 1-0 Florence lead. Just misses outside of that slider. But this day in baseball history I was getting to. While warming up before the fifth inning, the Yankees 3-1 win over the Blue Jays, New York outfielder Dave Winfield accidentally kills a seagull with a thrown ball, as this one is popped up left side of the infield, and the shortstop is Dylan Baker to glove it for out number 3. 1-2-3 inning for Logan Jones. How about it? We go to the 8th. Florence up 1-0. Frontier League Network, powered by HDN. Four, five, six for Florence. Zade Richardson will lead things off as Sussex County will stick with their right-handed reliever after a very clean 1-2-3 top of the 7th. Here in the bottom of the 8th as Richardson fouls one down the right field line. The bat of Billy Parsons. Pitcher from Billy Parsons, I should say. Played his college ball not far from here, Sussex County Community College. Off speed to Richardson, lands at the top of the zone. Ball and 2 strikes. Richardson has the only RBI for either team today. With 2 outs and a runner on second, blooped one down the right field line that kind of fell into no man's land between Romero, the first baseman, and Backstrom, the right fielder. Grounder up the middle on the run and throw to first. Berkey tires the first out of the 8th.
Right fielder, Brendan Bobo.
Brandon Bobo coming up. Kept getting interrupted before getting to that this day in baseball history where New York outfielder Dave Winfield accidentally kills a seagull on a thrown ball. That's not the crazy part. After the game, Winfield is brought to the Ontario police station on charges of cruelty to animals and is forced to post a $500 bond before being released. The charges will be dropped the following day. Bobo pops one foul down the third base line. This is just back in 1983. Pretty crazy. Ball and a strike on Bobo. Just a year before, in 1982, Joel Youngblood became the first Major League history to get a base hit for 2 different teams in 2 different cities in the same day. Foul ball down the first base line this time. In the afternoon, his hit drove in the winning run for the New York Mets to the 7-4 victory at Chicago. After the game, he was traded to the Montreal Expos and played that night in Philadelphia. He entered the game in right field of the 4th inning and later got a single. That's crazy. Swing and a miss for Bobo. Off speed on that outside corner. Third, actually just second, strikeout here for Parsons. Plate's 0 for 3 day for Bobo if he can't come up again. 2 outs, nobody on for Broussard. Sussex County pitching has retired 6 straight. Broussard 0 for 3 with the strikeout, fielder's choice, and a ground out. Swings through a breaking ball low. Logan Jones obviously very efficient on the 1-2-3 inning. We'll see if he goes back out there for the 8th or if Florence wants to get back to that Karsten McAvoy 8-9 combo we've been talking about. Again, living at the bottom of the zone. Fastball this time, cold strike at the knees at an 0-2 count on Broussard. 0-2 is way upstairs, brushes him off the plate a little bit inside too. But with his recent struggles, it's the first time he's been below 300 in quite some time. He comes into this game hitting 296. That just shows you how great of a season he's having. Swing and a miss, though, on that outside pitch. Back-to-back Ks to get Parsons out of this 8th. 1, 2, 3, and back-to-back innings for Billy Parsons. But Florence is 6 outs away as Logan Jones makes his way back to the mound on the Frontier League Network, powered by HDN. Florence Y'all 6 outs away from into that win streak up to 9. They have 6 outs. How will they cover it? They go back to Logan Jones at least for the bottom of the 8th. Jones just 12 pitches and his 1, 2, 3, 7th. Billy Parsons with a really nice 7th and 8th out of the bullpen for Sussex County. This might be the best opportunity for the Miners left with 2, 3, 4, Berkey, Maciel, and Taylor all to hit in the inning. Off speed for Jones, misses just a touch inside for a ball. Now we talk about it with Florence. Still have seen, as the bullpen has gotten better as of late, there still is no safe lead as Logan Jones will hit Berkey on a fastball that ran inside all the way on the arm. And the leadoff man is on base on the game-tying run on first with nobody out here for Sussex County. Now Gabriel Maciel has one of Sussex County's 3 hits today. A ground rule double to lead off the 6th for Villalobos. Again, did some magic to get out of the inning. Runner takes off for second base. Pitch is inside. Throw down to second. It's in time. Beadle wipes the game-tying run off the bases. First pitch, Berkey taken off for second base. It's Zach Beadle with another caught stealing. Pretty good jump over there for Berkey. Beadle with a bullet. Baker over to cover, and boy, we're taking a look at a replay. Yeah, I won't tell Florence fans if that's the right call or not. And now Ken Jackson is having to have a conversation with somebody in the Sussex dugout. Fans obviously unhappy with the call, as well as Sussex County manager Widger. So Widger back to the Sussex County dugout. Pitch was a ball. Nobody on base now, 1 out. This is the 3-hole hitting Gabriel Maciel, who just fouls one down the first base line, a ball and a strike. Important to look at some other scores. Again, a win today for Florence and a loss for Evansville would put Florence for now in second place of the division and in the first wild card spot. And it's Joliet still leading 6-0 over the Otters in Evansville. Schaumburg's got a 4-0 lead over Gateway after Florence sweeps Gateway in 4 games. Washington still 4-1 in the 8th, up over Down East. Hard grounder right at Hank Zeisler, picks it up on a knee, but is late to corral it, and it's a race to first that Zeisler wins. It was a closer call than Zeisler maybe thought at first, but he still gets to first in time. Now 2 down in the bottom of the 8th. Jones was over to cover in time, but Zeisler wanted to take it himself. So unconventionally, 5 retired in a row for Jones, one of those being a caught stealing after a hit by pitch. Here's Keenan Taylor. 2 gone, nobody on base, and he goes after the off-speed outside swing and a miss. Same exact pitch, can't get Taylor to chase. So in case I haven't made it clear, Taylor's batting average .293 this season. That is a combined batting average, between Florence and Sussex County. They have his different number up on the scoreboard at Sussex County. This is .362. I'm assuming that's his batting average with the minors this year. Grounder foul down the third base line, just left of the third base bag. That just shows you, .292 even after starting out the season, just 133 and 30 ABs with Florence. Starting to settle in with Sussex County. It's down to the count, 1-2 with 2 outs, nobody on. Bottom of the 8th, Florence with a 1-0 lead over the Miners. Jones fires another off-speed outside. The Taylor leaves alone this time. We've been talking about that iScore out-of-town scoreboard. Of course, always brought to you by Thornbush Whiskey. New frontier in the world of whiskey. Bold, smooth, and wildly unexpected. Come try the new official cocktail of the Yalls at Thomas More Stadium. Taylor gets another piece of a 1-2 pitch. Count even to 2-2. Again, in the 8th and a 1-run lead. I mean, this is the spot for Sussex County with 2-3-4. He hit Evan Berkey, but was thrown out at second trying to steal. And then the 3-hole, Gabriel Maciel grounded to first unassisted. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here for Taylor. Fastball up, counts full. I'll reiterate, not a view at Skyland Stadium from the press box up to the bullpen. So I guess we'll just all be surprised who comes out for the 9th day. But Tryon Heinz in that role. Aiden McAvoy, though, leads the league in saves. Grounder foul again from Keenan Taylor. Pitch number 10 of the AB coming up to the Sussex County designated hitter. Payoff pitch incoming with 2 outs. Just misses. Ball 4 to Taylor. Off-speed pitch again. That was about as close as it gets on that lower part. So we're walking hit by pitch in this inning. One of them was thrown out. Makai Backstrom has got a runner on first and 2 outs here in the home half of the 8th. Florence leads 4 outs. Throw over to first. Taylor not far off that first base bag. I'd also be interested to see if Sussex County goes back to Billy Parsons for the ninth. 6 up, 6 down in 2 innings for him. First pitch to Backstrom is a strike. Fastball outer part. The power hitting right fielder for Sussex County. Also spent time in an affiliated organization with the Houston Astros, making it up to high A. 0-1 opposite way, foul into the bleachers down the third base line. First section is all, seats with backs. Second section is mostly seats with backs, but there's a couple of section that turns to just bleachers pretty far down the first and third base lines here at Skyland Stadium. Jones shakes off a couple of pitches. Comes set for the 0-2 with Taylor over at first. Swing and a miss! Another one for Logan Jones. That's his 4th of the game in 2 innings. And we go to the 9th with Florence 3 outs away, leading 1-0 on the Frontier League Network, powered by HTN. Hooves hangout call to the bullpen for Sussex County. Looking for the perfect spot to relax and open your favorite baseball or Pokemon trading cards? Visit former Reds reliever J.J. Hoover at Hooves Hangout today, 405 Washington Street, Suite D in Alexandria. Billy Parsons did absolutely everything he needed to do. He faced 6 batters in his 2 innings, sat them all down. They will now call on another righty, Jordan Cesar from Morrisville, Pennsylvania. A 6'4" righty. Face the bottom third of this Florence lineup. Florence would love to add some insurance here in the top of the ninth, leading 1-0 over the Miners. Game 1 of a 3-game set with the third-place team in the East Division. We'll see who goes back out there for the ninth, but Logan Jones has been outstanding so far. Milo Rushford lays down Show's bunt, but pulls it back. The pitch was high. Pop up to third, a walk and a strikeout all in the game so far for Rushford. Fastball up in that same spot, so 2 balls and no strikes from Cesar. Comes into this game with a pretty high ERA, 7.45 at 54 and a third innings pitched. Slider just at the strike, or just at the knees for a strike. 48 strikeouts to 39 walks in his 54 to thirds innings pitched. That whip is above 2, so he lets runners on base. 2-1, fastball away here to Rushford. A win here would put Florence, his winning streak up to 9. As long as the score holds with Evansville trailing 6-0, put him temporarily at second base of the Midwest Central Division. Check swing for Rushford is called a strike. Rushford already taken off his equipment, thought it was a ball, but the count's now full. They would put their record against the Atlantic Conference this season at 6-1. First one on the road. Time called right before Rushford. Also hurt Sussex County a little bit after New York got the win today. That's who the Miners are chasing in the East Division. Put them now 4 games back of a playoff spot. Payoff pitch incoming, swing and a miss. Florence has struggled mightily against this Sussex County bullpen. Parsons and now Cesar have combined for 4 strikeouts. Second strikeout of the day for Milo Rushford. Dylan Baker's working on a 2-hit day. That is responsible for 33% of this Florence hits. Single and a double for him. Takes the first pitch, puts it at the first base seats. So you have 2 of these hits coming from Baker, 2 coming from Richardson, 1 from Zeisler, and 1 from Tucker. 0-1 slider misses below the knees, so a ball and a strike on Baker. Cesar, including the starters, is second on this team in innings pitched this year, that 54 and a third. He throws a changeup to the backstop, puts Baker ahead 2-1. With 1 out, nobody on. So they use him a lot, as he's not having his best season. Comes set for the 2-1. Off the knob of the bat, fell back towards the netting. The 1-0 lead for Florence, also out hitting Sussex County ×2. Miners just 3 hits today on what has, through 8, been a masterclass for Florence pitching. 2-2 to Baker is grounded foul down the third base line. Well, one of my points of the pregame show was expect a lot of runs. These 2 teams top 6 in the league in OPS. As Baker bounces another one foul, same spot. Both of these teams are outside of the top 10 in team ERA. That's baseball. This would actually be 2 consecutive pretty low-scoring games for Florence. The other one was just 7 innings, though. As Baker skies one center. Incoming is Mateo. The second baseman, Walters, goes back. And he's got it. This Sussex County bullpen has retired 8 straight. Started with Tucker at the top of the lineup, and they're going to make it 9 in 3 innings. It would be to Zach Beadle, a 9-hole hitting catcher, who ended up being the last batter that Tristan Harley faced. Two outs, nobody on. Beadle fouls one off the mask. Well, if Florence can come home victorious with this win today, you might thank Zach Beadle a lot for it. That throw down to second to catch Evan Berkey trying to steal second. Back in the bottom of the 8th. Ended up playing large as another runner got on base for Sussex County. Slider strike at the knees for Zach Beadle. I'm sorry I have not been active on this YouTube live chat. Do have a lot of good stuff. Let's go, y'alls, from Jenna Washko. Stephen Gregg getting in there. He wants an insurance run. Stephen, I 100% agree. Also helping us know where Norrisville is. It's northwest of the Philadelphia suburb. Ball runs in on Beadle. Puts the count of 1-2. Grounder right over to third. It's picked at third base, and coming up, Ferrara makes a nice throw to get Beadle. That'll be it for the Florence offense, leading 1-0 to the bottom of the ninth. New man coming into the game for Florence in the bottom half as they go for a save in their ninth straight win on the Frontier League Network, powered by HTN. So more into this interesting development and a closer situation for Florence. It will be Danny Heinz out for the ninth inning as Florence has a 1-0 lead. And 3 outs from grabbing their ninth straight win. Danny Heinz has yet to give up a run as the Florence Y'alls reliever, and he has looked spectacular. Aiden McAvoy, who leads the league in saves, will not get the call in a 1-0 game. It will be 6, 7, 8 for Sussex County. Dean Ferrara, Kiko Romero, and Sandro Gaston. Couple of righties and one lefty might be, playing into why they go to Heinz as opposed to McAvoy, but nonetheless, Heinz will try to close things out for the Ulls. Ferrara has had a pretty good day. He's reached twice with a single and a walk. He's also made numerous nice defensive plays, all different kinds. Made a play falling into the stands down the third base line. A couple of nice plays at the hot corner over third base, throwing across his body. Counts 1-0 to him. Ground ball right off the knee of Heinz. This is going to be a tough play for Blomquist to run up and make it. He won't. Leadoff infield single off of Danny Heinz, and the game-tying run is at first. Back-to-back innings here for Sussex County. Now in the ninth. Now you get to 7, 8, 9 for the Miners with Kiko Romero hitting. Florence not able to get that insurance run. They got to the bullpen of Sussex County after a great start from Tristan Harley. Romero squares around a bunt, pulls it back. Might be a bunt situation for the first baseman. Lowest batting average on this team. They got to the bullpen and got retired in order. 9 straight in the 3 innings against the Sussex County bullpen. 1-0 pitch. Bunt is laid down, foul. Right into that Florence dugout. A ball and a strike as Romero makes it clear of what his intentions are. Zeisler back at first, holding on Ferreira. Broussard came crashing over at third base. 1-1. Bunt laid down again. Foul. Wow, that might take away that bunt chance. Probably will now with 2 strikes in the count. We'll see what Romero wants to do on the 1-2. Obviously, the result of the AB will tell you if that's a good thing or not for which team. Heinz scoreless in his first 5 2/3 innings as a Florence Yall. 1-2, up and away. Count even up at 2 balls, 2 strikes. Struck out 9 in just 20 batters faced. That is an absurd strikeout rate. Almost at 50%. He's given up just 1 base hit until today. Fastball misses just off the plate, and we're full. Now, Heinz really does not want to look this one, especially with 7, 8, 9 line up at the plate right now. Virtually no lead over at first for Ferrara. Swing and a miss. Fastball bottom of the zone, and Kiko Romero could not catch up. Heinz's first strikeout. Florence now 2 outs away with the 8-hole hitter, Sandro Gaston. Or wait, do we have a pinch hitter? And we do. So the catcher will be pinch hit for Hunter D'Amato. Another switch hitter for Sussex County. That's 3 on their roster. Listed as an infielder from Coral Springs, Florida. Hitting .336 in a smaller sample size on the season with 2 homers. Runner at first with 1 out now on the 9th. First pitch slider misses just low, 81. 1-0 is the count. Gaston was 0 for 3 today with a couple of pop-ups and a strikeout, so might be the right call for Sussex County. Heinz starts him off 2-0 now. Fastball at 92 again, outside. Lawrence picked up a 3-1 win in a 7-inning game. Game 2 of the doubleheader against Gateway. Trying to pick up a 1-0 shutout win. Check swing on a fastball. Back pick over to first. No tag for Zeisler, keeping that in the infield. Still waiting to see what that pitch was called. I think it was called outside. It was definitely a check swing that I thought warranted a appeal. They still have it on the board as 2-0, and it looks like he did not go, and out comes Toby Hall to chat with his right-hander. Trying to avoid moving the game-tying run into scoring position here in the 9th. Hall out to talk with the whole Florence infield. It was a pretty quick chat. What's left here at Skyland Stadium on the edge of their seats as the pinch hitter D'Amato's got a 3-0 count. Get me over fastball down the middle of the zone. Didn't take anything off of that get me over pitch. 93. We've seen Heinz get up to as fast as 94 this season. Same spot on that 3-1 fastball, 92 miles an hour, outside corner. Counts full as D'Amato's left the last 2 alone. He has yet to take the bat off his shoulders in this AB. He'll finally take his timeout. Double play would be huge. Any sort of out, obviously, with the 9-hitter Hayden Walters. Looks like it is Walters for now. He won't go to a pinch hitter for the 9-hitter. Only 11 hitters on the active roster right now for Sussex County. Three-two. Punch foul. A little bit late on it. Back to the netting. Challenged foul opposite way. Again, we stay full. Heinz does already have 2 saves this season. One of them was kind of that bulk save. I think he went 2 or 3 innings. Did dial it up for 94 on that fastball that was fouled off by D'Amato. Short lead over at first for Ferrara. Payoff pitch. It's low for ball 4. And the game-tying run is now in scoring position. The game-winning run is on base. And out comes Hayden Walters. They will not pinch hit for him. Fifth walk for Florence pitching today. 3 of them from Villalobos, 1 from each Jones and Heinz. First at second with 1 out. Bottom of the ninth, the 1-0 Florence lead. First pitch strike. Fastball outside corner again at 93 from Heinz. Walters 0 for 3 with a couple of pop-ups in the infield and a strikeout. It was a strikeout looking from Jones. 0-1 tried to find that same spot at 94. He missed a tad away. 1-1. Whether it's McAvoy, whether it's Heinz, whether it's somebody else, Florence does not like to keep your heart rate low in these 9th innings. 1-1, swing and a miss, top of the zone. Sped up Walters. Heinz now have 2 strikes of the count. Ferrara at second. D'Amato at first. 1-2, fastball just off the plate again. I mean, Heinz has, for now, seemingly just ignored his off speeds. And he's been relatively close to the zone. Fastball up, and we are full once again. Walters has on the count full after going down 1 and 2. With 1 out, really does not want to make the game-tying run a sacrifice situation. Now first at second, payoff pitch, fouled back, we'll have to do it again. That is tense as it gets in both dugouts. It's an outstanding battle between Heinz and Walters. I am standing in my seat, as are about half of the Skyland Stadium crowd. Another payoff. Swing and a miss. Fastball top of the zone again. Another Heinz fastball at 94. Couple of Ks in the inning are the 2 outs, and Florence is 1 out away. Runners stay at put at first at second. Ferrara and D'Amato. You do get to the top of the lineup, though, and Edwin Mateo. This is it for Sussex County, their last chance to score at all in this game. Just 4 hits on Florence pitching today. Goes after the first pitch, another fastball, right inside, swing and a miss. Villalobos, an outstanding 6 scoreless. He's gone 6 or more in every single start since the All-Star break, all 4 of them. Logan Jones continues to impress in his 2 innings of relief. Swing and a miss again on the 0-1 fastball. It is another fastball to the middle of the plate that Sussex County hitters just cannot catch up to. It's certainly a different look to go from Villalobos to Jones to Heinz. You're not getting a whole lot of fastballs above 90 to those first 2 pitchers for Florence. Seen a lot here for Heinz. 0-2, got him! Swing and a miss again, tipped into the mitt as Florence takes their 9th straight. They continue to just find different ways to win. Yannick Villalobos gets the win, and the save for Danny Heinz to leave a couple runners on here in the 9th. 1-0 the Florence victory. They move to 43-30 on the season. And back-to-back games where the pitching has just been outstanding. The only run was all they needed from Zade Richardson, an RBI bloop single back in the fifth. The offense did virtually nothing today. 6 base hits. And went down in order in the last 3 innings of the game against the Sussex County bullpen. But all that matters is the final score will read 1-0 and a 43-20 record for the Florence Yalls, now a 9-game win streak. If we were at home and had the post-game interview player of the game, it would almost certainly be Yannick Villalobos. Logan Jones had a really good 2 innings of relief too. And then Danny Heinz cleans things up with his 4th appearance of the year for Florence. That is his 3rd save now. So McAvoy still leads the league in saves, but they might have changed things up a little bit for that closer situation, as game 1 of the series belongs to the Florence Yalls. Again, just the 6 hits, 2 of them for Zade Richardson. He has the only multi-hit day. Check that. Dylan Baker has a multi-hit day too. He's 2 for 4. Richardson's 2 for 4. The RBI goes to Richardson. 1 for 4 for Zeisler. He scores the game-winning run, the only run of the game. Jackson Tucker has a 1 for 4 day. And the last hit belongs to, actually, that might have been all 6. That covered it. Yeah, Tucker, Zeisler, Blomquist, and Baker. For Sussex County, they had just 4 hits. Florence, that shows the pitching was outstanding. Evan Berkey had a single back in the first. Remember, Sussex County loaded the bases with less than 2 outs in the top of the first, starting to look like this might be just another high-scoring game. Villalobos settles in, goes 6 scoreless, obviously. Other hits for Sussex County come from 2 from Dean Ferrara, an infield single and a line drive single back in the 4th. On that ground rule double from Gabriel Maniel. To, again, another leadoff ground rule double, but a couple of situations that got a little scary for Villalobos. He worked around it, and he was great. So, again, Villalobos gets the win on 6 innings. Jones with 2, the save to Danny Heinz. The loss will unfortunately go to Tristan Harley, who goes 6 innings of 1-run baseball on just 6 hits, walked a couple of batters, struck out 3, but that won't do it. There's not a lot to wrap up today on the postgame show. I mean, there just was not a whole lot of offense. It was all about the pitching, and we touched on it. Villalobos ties his season high for strikeouts with 7. Jones gets 3 strikeouts in his 2 innings of work, and Heinz strikes out the side around a couple runners getting on base in the 9th inning. So that'll do it here from Skyland Stadium at the Frontier League Network, powered by HTN. Appreciate everyone tuning in. I think we've ended on the HTN broadcast, so we'll wrap that up right here on the YouTube audio stream. Appreciate everyone tuning in. Right back in action at 6:55 tomorrow for a 7:05 first pitch. I've been Ben Haller. As always, y'all have a good night.